good to see you again. Today, I want to share with you the mystery of backsliding. You see, these days, a lot of things are really happening. People are backsliding as if it is normal life. People are living the ways of God, going back to their vomit. A lot of people have retrieving their steps back to their former ways. Many believers, many Christians, many converts have started living their ways of pursuing Christ and start pursuing the things of the world. Some people say a true Christian can never be backslide. If a person backslide, it means he or she was not truly a convert. In the Christian life, there is no standing still. We are either progressing or regressing. No one is immune. Today we are taking our Bible verse from Hebrews chapter 3. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God. Verse 13 said, but exhort one another while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Our emphasis here is departing from the living God. You see, somehow we think that a true believer, a true convert can never return back to his former ways or can never backslide. You see, this very verse we read told us that we should take heed, that we should be careful, lest we return back to our former ways, lest we depart from following the living God. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12, the Bible talks about, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall. If you that is standing, you that is still a believer, you that is still following Christ, he say if you know that you think you are still standing, he say you should be careful lest you fall. That is to say, there is possibility of you and I falling. There is a possibility of a true child of God to backslide. We as believers have been warned to take heed, to be careful, not to return back. When you backslide, you kill unbelievers of hope. Your backsliding can be the reason that someone doesn't get saved and goes to hell. When a Christian or a believer backslide, he brings mockery into the kingdom of God, whereby people start saying, look at them that say they are a Christian. Look at he who always goes to church. Look at them who profess that they love Christ. Now they have stopped going to church. Now they have stopped following their brethren. They have forsaken the assembly of believers. In 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8, the Bible said that be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. The Bible was so specific here, telling us that you and I have an adversary, and it was specific by saying the devil. He is seeking for who to devour, who to bring down, and who to drag to hell. So this tells us that everyone, even those who are standing, even believers, even pastors, even bishops, no matter the names, that if you and I are not careful, the devil can cause us to backslide. And the devil is not coming in a form of the way we see it painted. No, he is coming in the form of man. In portraying more or showing more emphasis on this same issue, that a true convert can be backslide, in Luke chapter 22 verse 3, the Bible said, and Satan entered Judas. Even Judas was an apostle of Christ, a disciple, a follower of Jesus. He never backslided until Satan took hold of him. He never backslided until Satan enters him. In Luke 22, verse 31, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Even Simon Peter, the devil desired that he might shift him as wheat. He might shift him from his faith. But Christ said, but I have prayed for you. The devil can never come without Christ not coming. That is why Jesus said that I have prayed for you. Where the Satan stopped, that is when Christ began his work. That is why the Bible told us that the devil come only to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But after that, Jesus come that you and I might have life and have it in abundance. Anywhere that the devil appeared, Jesus also must appear for the salvation or the deliverance of his people. In Luke 22, verse 32, Jesus said, for I have prayed for you, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. You see, even Peter, Christ acknowledged that Peter will fall, Peter will backslide, and also will be converted again, will be brought back to track. Are you getting the point now? At this time, we are going to look into some points or reasons why I think people backslide these days, because backsliding have become the order of the day. Number one reason I think that people may backslide or people backslide because in this era, many men of God are demanding too much from their followers. I am not against giving to the work of God or to promote the work of God. I'm only against the area whereby people are using the name of God to extract money from their followers. Even the 5 loaves of bread that Jesus, the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fishes that Jesus multiplied was as a result of someone in the congregation giving out what he or she have. That was what Jesus multiplied. In other words, it is good to give for the work of God. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9, the Bible said, for we laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable unto any of you. You see, these are the words of the old apostles, telling their people that they are laboring day and night, not to be a burden unto their followers, not to be a burden to the church. But the Bible also made us to understand that a workman is worthy of his labor. And also those who work in the temple should eat that which is in the temple, but not the other way around of dragging people to drop whatsoever they have, telling people, like performing magic, telling people to clear their bank account. Because even in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 11, the Bible said, if we have sown spiritual things unto you, is it a great thing if we reap your carnal things? In other words, your material things. Is it wrong if we sow spiritual things unto you? Is it wrong that you also sow into our life with carnal or material things? It is not wrong. It is not wrong to give to men of God. I know some of us, we said, oh, didn't Elijah ask the woman to prepare him food to eat? Yes, that is quite correct. Elijah asked the widow to prepare him food to eat. But after that, mind you that Elijah performed the miracle that the woman have more in abundance. There are many of us who tell our followers to sow a seed into their life that by the end of the year they are going to buy a car. Even common bicycle, they won't be able to purchase, they won't be able to buy. Telling people to come and sow into their life, telling people to come and use their money to drop their sweat, telling people to come and empty their wallet or empty their purse. It is not wrong if only you could return back those things to them from God. Because God honored the words of his prophet. Whenever a prophet said a word, God honors it. But if you know that God cannot and will not honor your words, don't deceive the people. Because whosoever you deceive today, it might backslide. And if it backslide, God will hold you accountable. Number 2 reasons why I think people backslide is that in today's church, in the lives of today's believer, there are too much backbiting, in other words, gossiping in amongst brethren, in among believers. We gossip a lot these days. In James chapter 4 verse 11, the Bible told us that we should not speak evil of one another. What do we see today among believers? You see, we condemn ourselves. We gossip a lot, condemning one another, gossiping about this church, about the other church. All this can even make someone to backslide, and it won't promote the work of God. Number 3 reasons why I think that people backslide is because of the spirit of bitterness and unforgiveness. This also can cause someone to backslide. In among believers today, we are too stiff to let go. We don't forgive. There is unforgiveness everywhere. People keep grudges, keep malice amongst ourselves, which ought not to be so. Even it causes someone to backslide and also cause unbeliever not to believe in your God. It causes someone not to even come to know that God whom you profess, whom you said you are following. We should get rid of bitterness. This is one of the dangerous weapons that the devil uses against us, against believers. Bitterness. We don't want to let go. Little before you know, you start analyzing it. Before you know, you won't be able to guide your heart any longer. In a short while, you lost concentration and depart from the truth. Also, someone can backslide based on friends they keep. Yes, someone can backslide based on the friends we are keeping, the people who advise you, the people who you listen to. Also can cause you to backslide, to stop going to church, to stop doing the things you ought to do. In other words, evil companion. That is why the Bible warns us in 1 Corinthians 15:33 that evil communication corrupts good manner. It corrupts good manner, not just anyhow manner, but good ones. It can corrupt you who think that you are standing. It can corrupt you who think that you are in the right path. You who think that you are unbreakable. The communication you hear, that you listen to, that enters you, can shift you from truth, from the way of God. So as believers, we should be conscious of our heart. We should be careful of people we listen to and the people that advises us. Now, I think this is one of the most important that you and I must be careful of. Many backslide because end time is here. In 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1, the Bible said, in the latter days, some shall depart from the faith. So which side are you going to belong? Are you going to be among those who are going to fall out of faith in the latter days? So you and I should be conscious of this, that this is end time. Don't allow a brother or a sister to make you to depart from the faith. Don't allow man of God, don't allow even a brother or a sister, a wife, to make you to depart from the faith. In these days, a lot of things are happening. Don't be controlled by end-time manipulation. Don't be controlled by end-time power. Because these days, people get offended unnecessarily. People find reasons to accuse brothers or sisters. So I urge you to always stand firm, to always remain in faith. This message is coming to strengthen you. Jesus told Peter that after you have been converted, he says strengthen others. So if you might have fallen or backslide in any way, you should find your way back. Even the prodigal son found himself in this place when he decided not to listen or following his father any longer. He wanted to do it in his own way. He now found his way out of the terrain of his father. He departed from the faith of his father and went his way. Then the consequences, anguish, hunger, and other things become the order of the day. But when he come to his right sense, he remembered home. He remembered where he comes from. He remembered that he has a lovely father. So he returned back to his father, and his father welcomed him with an open arms and also celebrated him. So in anywhere you might have backslided, Jesus awaits you with an open arms. He's looking forward for you to hear this message and return back to him. There will be celebration even in heaven that you are returned back. Thank you for watching. If you find this interesting, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. God bless you.